Race and South African sport have long had an acrimonious relationship. The latest spat comes today after Quinton de Kock made himself unavailable for selection moments before the Proteas match against the West Indies at the ICC T20 World Cup in Abu Dhabi. Cricket South Africa's board had issued a statement earlier in which they directed every member of the Proteas to take the knee in all their remaining matches. Now, Cricket South Africa is now awaiting a report from a team management before deciding on what action to take against the wicket-keeper. Before we dissect this sad chapter in our sporting landscape, let's do that with ENCA sports editor Vata Ngobeni. And before we speak to him, in fact, let's take a listen at what the former Proteas team Dr. Mohammad Moseji said about this very same issue when he was testifying at the SNG last week.
Lungi Ngidi should be applauded for standing up and supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. He's a remarkable individual who has shown maturity beyond his years. Unfortunately, some current players appear to be misinformed and believe that taking the knee is supporting the notion that Black lives matter more. They need to be educated so that they appreciate that taking the knee is all about a stand against racism and discrimination and supporting the notion that Black lives matter as much. It is a pity that the Proteas team have not adopted a unified approach to the issue and highlights that even though we have been having discussions for a number of years already, these discussions need to continue because we still have a long way to go to get all our people to fully appreciate the injustices of the past. I would like to see a recommendation from the Ombudsman and urging the Proteas to adopt a unified approach.
All right, Vata, thank you so much for joining us now to discuss this further. What's really the issue here? There are people that are saying we need to appreciate individual rights. You can't really force people to do what they're not doing. But there are other people that are saying, well, we live in South Africa and it's important that such a political statement is made against racism.
Clement, I'm all for people's rights and what they believe in and so on, and making sure that the sanctity of their rights are always maintained, but they can never infringe upon the rights, I think, of all South Africans. They can never infringe upon the rights of any group. And in this case, this is a race issue. I think it's important to establish where Black Lives Matter, the movement comes from itself, and the fact that it was not just about George Floyd. It was about the fact that we need to recognize the rights of black people, not just in South Africa, across the world, in every single sphere, that they have got a right to be equal to any other race, in the world. So unfortunately, Quinton de Kock has made an individual decision, exercised it. He's got the right to do so, but he must also understand that his individual rights do not supersede those of a collective or those of a country, and in this case, in this instance, of black people across the world.
Yeah, so what happens to him now that he's taking this decision?
Well, we've seen that Cricket South Africa have now said that they were obviously awaiting a report from the team management. I think it's a simple case. I think Quinton de Kock has made the decision for South African cricket, and I think for him it's to pack his bags and come back home to South Africa and really think about his stance and think about what the impact of his decision will now have on the team going forward. And again, it's going to influence how the mood of this country. We know how race has always divided South Africa when it comes to sport, but more than anything, race has been at the center of a divided country 30 years and even prior to that. So I think the only decision now is for Quinton to leave, come back home, because he now further divides a team that had gone to a Cricket World Cup not unified in the manner in which we expect the national team to be.
All right, ENCA sports editor Vata Ngobeni, thank you.